Hey guys, it's Grace,
Hey, it's Lorena.
and we are the Indigos, and today we are going to talk about saying no. It's something that I haven't been good at in my life. I was always a yes person, but now I'm starting to learn how to say no because it's so important for me.
Such a good contrast because no was one of the first words I ever learned in life, and it's really helped. So it's great that we're going to have these two different um, perspectives on no and why it's important for everyone to be able to say no because, there's so many people that are into pleasing people. We all are to an extent, but there's also boundaries and certain things that you have to set for yourself because it's important for your own growth, your own liberation to be able to have open dialogue with people just about how you feel about certain things and not have to sacrifice yourself to the extent of doing something that you really don't want to, or maybe something you don't stand for. For you, Grace, because this is something that you've been working on and you're progressing in it. Was there a turning point for you? Was there a time where it was like, all right, I've had enough? Like, how did
Yeah.
you make that, you know?
Yeah, well, I was a yes person, which I'm sure a lot of you are. I was a yes person. Number one, I just like everyone to like me. Number two, I just want everyone to be happy and pleased. And but what I realized was being this kind of way that I was, it was at the detriment to myself. So I was doing things for people that I didn't really want to do, but I was doing it because I knew that it would mean a lot to them or whatever. But I would sacrifice myself in order to do that, even though I could be suffering as a result of it. So for me, all my life saying no was a huge thing for me to learn how to say, to know my boundaries, basically. Where do I need to draw the line in the sand and just go, actually, I'm not going to jump over it this time. But it was only until recently that I've really learned how to say no. And actually, maybe it was like, I think maybe Ray was like a little bit of a psychological thing for me to say no, because I always thought maybe that no was a negative thing, a negative word, you know. I didn't realize that no is such an empowering and positive word to say, and the word and the meaning behind saying no, and knowing your limitations as well. So, yeah, I recently really learned how to say no properly, listening to myself when and why I should say no.
Oh yeah, that makes sense, and that's the important part. I've had situations like that where saying no isn't coming from a bad place, but sometimes it comes from love. I've had situations with friends, family members, where maybe some of the decisions they made might have been toxic for them, and I would have to partake in certain things, and being able to say no to the extent of this isn't good for you, this isn't healthy. No, I do not promote you maybe having an addiction. I've been in situations like that with friends where whether it's been alcohol, drugs, whatever the case might be, but being able to say, I can't see you like this. I refuse to be a part of this. I'm not going to spend all of my time being toxic to you by, us going to a bar, going out all the time, but say, to maybe those type of invites to be able to say, you know what, why can't we go do something healthy, or, enforce positive behavior. So that's been a place where I've said no. Or even the hardest one was family members, because in society we're taught, family comes
Yeah.
first, blood is, like, we're taught this type of separation within spiritual beings, which I don't necessarily agree with, because I think it can cause damage and it can discredit friendships that can be as powerful, if not more. But it was hard growing up, in a household where family was number one and everything else came afterwards, where sometimes we allow family to push us to do things. And sometimes the no is, I mean, example, some kids go to college just to appease their parents because they don't know how to say no for themselves in their own lives. Like, that's something where certain things, being able to assist in helping someone, or just anything that you're doing in the sense of pleasing him, it shouldn't be to the point where it's a self-sacrifice for who you are as a person. And I feel like that's where the balance is with the no. It's not one of those things I can say no, so I'm not going to do things for people. Not in the extreme nature where you're not of service, but saying no to things that compromise your morals, what you believe in, what you want to stand for, and where you want to be. That's I guess the healthy no's that we're referring to. When it comes to
and
being
also at the detriment of yourself, like too, because that was me. It wasn't like, because I'm not a drinker and I don't do drugs and all that kind of stuff. That's just me, my choices. So I said no, and I'm strong in my conviction for those kind of things, but I wasn't strong in my conviction of what I will take on and what I won't take on. So for me, it was more the it wasn't necessarily for that purpose. It was more to do with things of people pleasing, just kind of like just helping people all the time. But I was like exhausted from it, taking on the load of everybody else, and that's always been my thing, is like taking on other people's energy and other people's loads, just to be able to try and see if I can help them. But really, it wasn't really self-serving for myself. So I really needed to learn how to say no, and draw the line in the sand and draw my boundaries around me of what I will take on and what I won't take on as well. That was really important for me. But it's so funny because like you said, no was your first word, which
definitely,
which doesn't surprise me at all with you. But and more than likely, yes was probably one of my first words too.
Oh no, for sure. And it's funny because there's such a contradiction there, because I grew up in a household where certain things a lot of parenting teaches things that are contradictory, where it's like, it's great to say no, but outside of this house, where it's like you do everything, certain practices don't necessarily apply to the teachings of family sometimes. And I think that was kind of the situation where I was in, where it was like, it was easy for me to say no to the world. It was hard to say no to my family and have those same morals and those same strengths within myself to be able to do that at every cost, but being able to find a balance that no didn't come out of a place not of love, not of, pure intention and things like that, because sometimes no's are that. And I learned that. So it wasn't the saying no. I feel like it was always a process of me getting to a place of balancing how it's being said, how it's being delivered, and being able to come up with other solutions. I had a situation one time where I'm really not into like going back on my word. When I commit to something, when it is a yes or no, it's definite. But I had a situation where a friend needed me to babysit their dog. Something had come up, and they really depended on me, where they were just like, I need you to do this. And I almost sacrificed things that really could have been detrimental just for me to take on the responsibility. But I had to call and say, no, I can't take your dog, but I will pay to have it go to daycare, go somewhere else, because I had already committed. But also not just saying no, but also sometimes finding solutions for the situation. So you're not just leaving someone hanging, because there is a balance between saying no and sometimes being a little self-centered, not considering whatever the case might be. Obviously it's case by case and we all have to make those decisions. But that was something for me where I had to say no, but I also wanted to come up with a solution as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to try, because, this purpose of us doing this stuff is to just to have open conversations like we're having right now. We're not experts, so we're just like sharing what we've been through and how we can help each other evolve and elevate each other. And what we want to do is make these talks a lot shorter, and about 10 minutes. So today we'll wrap it up here. But next time we'll probably be together in LA and do a video with each other there. And
coming to America. Woo-hoo! I had to say that, guys. This is exciting. Grace is coming back. Yes.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We can see a few viewers online right now, so it's really cool that you guys are joining in. And you know, be a part of the conversation as well. Feel free to leave comments, ask any questions. Our email address, it's all on there, so you can find us very easily. And we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see you. And I'm sure, no doubt, one day we will. So peace out for now, and we'll see you the next round.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.